Okay, so in this video we're going to take a look at ClassiPress user feedback and search. This is a plugin that we've created for a solution to a site that needed a feedback system, but also needed the ability to search through users, view their feedback, and make it easy to get to other users' profiles to leave feedback or view feedback for that particular user. So we have here a default ClassiPress website. We've just set it up with a few ads under different users, and we're going to go ahead and install the plugin. So we're going to head over to our dashboard, we'll head down to plugins and click on add new, and we're going to upload the plugin. I'm going to choose the file, and then we're going to install the plugin from our desktop here. Once the plugin's installed, we're going to go ahead and activate the plugin. And the first thing you're going to notice is that we've got an additional menu item down here called user feedback, and we've got a settings area and a moderate area. So we're going to take a look at that in just a minute, but if we head back over to our site now, we can see that nothing's really changed on the home page here, but if we go to manage ads under our account, we can see that we've got our feedback rating displayed in here for us, so we know what our feedback is. And if we head over to our profile page, we can see that we've got our feedback rating on our profile page as well. And if we head over to a listing and then click on the poster option, we can see that the user's feedback rating is also stored in here as well. So let's take a look at leaving feedback and what it looks like on a user profile. So if we head over back to our main page here, obviously you can't leave feedback on yourself, so we're going to need to choose a different user. So let's take a look at Bill, and we can see here that we've got his user rating, which is 0% because he's not been rated yet and he's had 0 user ratings. And we've got on the right hand side the option to leave feedback. If we left click on this button, we're going to be presented with a form where we've got some stars, a user rating, a feedback box, and then whether or not the user was selling or buying. So with the stars we can hover over and we can choose whether or not we want to rate him from anything from 0.5 all the way up to 5 stars. So depending on what you think the trade went like, we could rate him 3.5 stars. Let's say he was buying the product, and then we can say he was a bit slow to pay. There we go, and that's our feedback for Bill. And then once we're done, we can click on Save Feedback. The feedback is saved to the database, and if we refresh this page, we can see that by default it's awaiting moderation. Now this is a setting in the settings area which we can look to turn on or off depending on how you wish to have your site run. But when feedback is awaiting moderation, everything's grayed out, you can't see what the feedback says, and the feedback score isn't attributed to his actual overall score. So if we want to enable this feedback, so this is viewable via the general public, if we head over back to our dashboard area, head over to user feedback and click on moderate, we can see that we've got the feedback in the back end here. We've got when it was left, who left it, who it was for, the type of feedback, who it was rated by, his rating, and then the actual feedback itself. And if we click on the green tick, we can approve that feedback, and if we head back over to Bill's profile and refresh this page, we can see that his feedback score is now listed on the site, and he's actually got a score on his actual profile as well. Now that's part of the feedback system. If we head back over to our dashboard area, head over to settings, we've got some further details in here which we can set up for our feedback area. And the first option is allow multiple feedback. As you can see under Bill's profile, we've lost that feedback button here. We can't leave any more feedback. That's because we've already left feedback for him once before. However, if we go into our admin area here and enable that option and save, and head back over and refresh the page, we can see that the feedback option is the feedback button has appeared again, giving us the option to add more feedback to his profile. Back in our settings area, we also have the option to allow users to reply to their feedback. So if I was logged in as Bill, I would have the option to reply and justify why I was slow to pay, maybe, or just reply generally to the feedback that's left by other users. We also have the option to track IP addresses, which will be in your moderation page settings, and also whether or not we want to actually have moderation required. So if we disable this, and we'll enable these two as well, and we'll just click on Save Changes, and let's refresh this page, and let's leave a new bit of feedback. So we'll leave him 5 stars, great seller from Bill trade again. And if we click on save feedback, that gets saved directly to it, and if we refresh the page, we can see that this time this one wasn't required to be moderated. It appeared straight away, and again the rating affected his score immediately as well. And if we head over to our settings area and go to moderate, we can see that it's also logged the IP address for that bit of feedback. And if, for example, you want to delete anything, you can just click on obviously the X to delete the feedback from the profile as well. So that's that part. If we head over to Bill's profile quickly, and we'll just go to his profile as Bill, we can see that Bill has got the option here to reply to the feedback. So if we click on reply, hi, I'm Bill, thanks for the kind words, and click on reply to feedback, we can now see this is saved into his profile, and if we refresh that, we can see that Bill's feedback is also left alongside the main feedback as well. So that's one part of the feedback and user search system. So that's the feedback element anyway. And as you can see, it's really, really powerful, looks really, really good. And if we go over to his listing now and click on poster, we can see that he's got his details here under his name next to his icon here. The next step is the user search area. Now this is really, really good. Now we did this because we wanted to have the ability to search for users on our site and view their profile, and view their feedback, and obviously view their details as well. Now under our admin area here within WordPress, if we head up to pages, we've got a new page in here called member list, and if we view this page, we can see that we've got a nice looking member list. And as we can see, you've got a list of the avatars, their display name, and their rating, with a search box at the top as well. Now, by default, we'll just have the avatar, their display name, and the feedback showing. But if we head back over to our admin area here, head down to user feedback and click on settings, scroll down to user search settings, we can see that we've got some additional options here. And the first one is show usernames. And enabling this will show the username of the user beneath their display name, and if they've completed their real names in their profile, we can also enable this as well. And we can set the default sorting by display name or feedback rating, and also how many users we want to show per page. So we'll change that to 10, for example. I'm going to click on Save Changes now, and if I come back here and refresh this page, we can see that we've only got 10 users being displayed. We've got their display name followed by their username, which you may or not want to show depending on security. You might not want to have users' usernames publicly available, but if you do, the option's there. And obviously if they've completed their real name, then this will also be pulled through to the search page here. But we can see, for example, myself, I haven't actually added my real name to my WordPress dashboard, but these users here have. And obviously we can also see the user rating. So Bill, we can see he's got 85% with 2 scores or 2 ratings to his profile. And again, we can sort by any of these options along the top here by clicking on these arrows here to change the sorting options. And again, the search box at the top, we can search for a user. So if we type in Beth, it's going to search for a user with the word Beth or part of it in it. And we can see that we've got this user Beth here, and we've got Elizabeth, because obviously Beth makes part of her name. So how good is that? That's a really good part of the system, I think, personally, and it makes finding users, viewing their feedback, and obviously getting to their profiles so much easier, because you can just click on their display name and be taken straight to their profile, view their listings, or view their entire feedback. Now, the next thing we need to talk about is our widgets that we've created. Now, you would have probably seen these on the user list back here. We can see that we've got our top users widget, and we've also got a find users widget. Now, basically what the widget does, the top users one will have however many users you want to display, up to 10 that have had feedback scores, and it will only display users that have had feedback, and it will display in the order of the highest rating, so a user with the highest percentage rating, followed by score. So if you had 2 users with this rating of 85%, one had 2 results and one had 3 results, the 85 with the 3 would show first. That's a nice little widget we can put on your site, so you can sort of like advertise, popular users on your site, and people might want to trade with them, or they can click through to their profile and view their listings as well. Another great thing is the Find a User widget. This is just basically a search box, equivalent of this, but you can put this on any page on your site, making it easy for users to find other users from any page on your website. Again, you can access all of that from under the Appearance and under the Widgets area. And again, as we can see, you can literally just drag the widgets here. And we can see the CUFS, search users, and CUFS, top users here. The other little plugin feature we've got, if we head over settings again, so I want to show you this, probably saw this again a second ago under the user search settings, but we've got this is verified users activated, and then we can see that ClassiPress verified user plugin is not found. Now what is this, you're wondering? Well, another user in the marketplace has created a verified users plugin for ClassiPress, which allows you to basically add a marker to your users, which basically symbolizes that they're verified. Now this is something we've used on our site as well, that allows users to see that a user has basically been verified by the admin of the site, and just makes them look more trustworthy. You can find more details about this plugin by clicking on this link, where you can go and purchase it. I believe it's only $5 and well worth the money, and we integrate with that as well. So what we do is we check to see if that plugin's installed. If the plugin's installed, we will allow you to add an additional column to your search boxes, which will basically give an icon if the user is verified or if the user is not verified. And again, in the top users widget as well, if the user is verified, they'll have an image under the stars here, and if they're not verified, they'll have an image saying they're not verified. So it's a great little integration there with another marketplace plugin. It's not required for this plugin to work, but it's just something that we wanted, and we felt that would work well with a feedback system and a user search for your ClassiPress site. Other things we might want to cover over are, if we head over to Bill's profile again, is the number of feedbacks displayed per page. We show 10 feedback results per page, and then you'll have paging options underneath. You'll be able to see that in the demo site when you go and view the demo. We'll have a page where you'll be able to basically browse through pages of feedback rather than having one long list of feedback, which could get a bit messy if your site's quite busy. You'll just have 10 feedbacks per page, which the user can then browse through. Obviously, this is ordered with the latest feedback at the top of the results. What else do we want to cover in this video? So we've covered obviously the feedback settings area here, we've got the user search settings here, and obviously the moderate area here. You can edit this stuff yourself in the back end, so if you want to edit out profanities or anything like that, you can click on the edit button, you can edit the feedback that's been left and then save that, and then that will update on the page as well. You can delete it by clicking on the X, and that will remove it from the website. Like I said, this is a quick run through of the ClassiPress user feedback and search plugin. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us or get in contact to us with via the support forum on appthemes.com. Thank you very much.